Okay, hello everyone. This um lesson we'll be talking about logs and journalctl. So basically journalctl is for Linux, right? Um for Mac is just the logs command. So but we're going to be touching more of the journalctl command. So as you can see, I'm actually just running a Ubuntu container on my Windows. But let's go through diagram over here through Linux login source. So this is basically Linux login source. We have the kernel, which is the hardware, the drives, the boot messages. We have the system D, which is the service start, like when you do Docker start, Docker stop. Well, that is the service start, stop, crash event. We have the apps, that is Nginx, MySQL, SSHD, and our own code. Python, Go. We have the auth, which is the login attempt, the sudo usages, and the SSH access, which is then broken down into the system D journal, which is the binary, the fast journal CTL, and the var slash log, which is the text file. So now we're going to talk about what is in the let me just talk about the system. This system D journal and the viral logs are basically the two login system for your let me say your OS. So modern Linux system actually use both of them simultaneously. journalctl is majorly the primary tool for debugging, while the viral log is for application like logs, like the nginx access, the auth, and all. So now I'm going to talk about the key files in var/var/log, which is the basically the system log, is the general system messages, Ubuntu, Debian. While the messages are the general system messages. This is for Rocky. This is for Ubuntu or Debian. There is the auth log, which is the authentication, login, sudo, SSH, the secure, which is for the authentication key for Rocky Linux, the kernel the log for kernel messages only, the DMMESG, which is boot time hardware drivers messages, the Nginx. There's the access log for every HTTP request Nginx handle, and the error logs for Nginx error and for warnings. Then there's MySQL, the error, the logs, the MySQL error and crashes, the APT, the history, the log, the So now let's go through journalctl basics. So journalctl basically show me all the logs. There's a one pager. Show me all the logs. I use arrow keys to like move up and down. Then I can do use slash to search. See. Then you can use Q to quit. Alright. So there are different varieties of command. There's the one with the dash R flag, which shows the newest entries first from latest to oldest, basically. Then there's with the dash N with the number of lines you want. Maybe I just want five. Shows me the five. Quit. Then there's the no pager dash no pager, right? Which will just show you the whole. It just prints it out. It's like cat. Just print it out. So there's also the journal dash E, which just takes you to the end. of the whole file straight. So let's talk about the still under journal command. They still the dash F. Just see the dash F. There are a lot of commands that I can just normal follow command. It streams all new logs entry as they arrive. You can follow logs for a particular service if you have Nginx. You just do dash u Nginx and it will follow it. So I don't think I have Nginx here. So yeah, that is basically it. You can filter by the dash u service unit for anything you want. The MySQL. Let's see. Let's use MySQL, maybe Nginx. I think I'm gonna have MySQL here. There's no entries from it. We can filter for anything basically. So we can use filtering by time. You can filter by time. That is let's see, journal dash since, just dash since. You can filter um those one. Let's say 1 hour ago, go filter by time. Just show you the logs of 1 hour ago. You can also use an absolute range, but everything is still between the since, using the since flag. There is a filter absolute range, date range, precise timestamp and all. Let me just give you an example using the precise timestamp. Let's see. Let's see. Let me just use date range instead. Say 2025, 2026 rather. Let's just say 2026 0. I think it's 5, right? 05 0. Today is third. Let's say second. Then until. How you do it? You just put this until. The same step you use for the time, but you just add time to it. Check it out. 9 0 5 and 03. So basically no entries because I just started it now. So you can filter by priorities. Maybe by, you want to filter errors by critical conditions. Let's say journal dash p. To filter by priorities, you use dash p. So p error. There's no entries. There's not been any error. Let's see if there's been any warnings. So unknown, okay, there have been unknown log warnings, right? You can filter by boot session. That is the current boot session. That is just dash b. Just filter by boot session alone. Can filter by previous boot session. Can filter by 2 boot sessions. For previous, just put a -1. There's no, I didn't have a previous boot session because it was created now. You can filter by boot sessions before the previous boot sessions. Then you can get a list of all the boosts. There's a list. Can Then this is just the list, just one. That is today. Just can see the time. Yeah, that's the first and last entry. You can filter by, you can still add like a filter for a particular boot and filtering just the error dash p, let's say err. It will work. So yeah, I think that's, we can also navigate through a command called less, where you can just do less, or you can do journal. I don't have much logs here, but journal dash u, uh my SQL, well, then piping less, see no entries, don't have any entry. Can filter by less. Less is like, it's basically a scrollable viewer. When your logs are very long, you can use less to like scroll through the logs, right? So you can use grep plus pipe to filter the Verilog files. Since they are mostly plain files, you can use them to filter. So you can use this to search for a pattern. This is just search for field password or so. For case insensitive file, in my earlier video I covered that. Shows 3 lines before and after. So it shows how many times a pattern appears and all. So let's try this out. All right. So you can use grep with piping to filter some files. So let's just say said okay. So we can use grep plus piping to filter whatever we want from the var/log file. You can use this to show 3 lines before and after each, to count how many times a pattern appears, show line numbers, watch live, and filter simultaneously. So you can use grep and pipe to filter errors. So just try one. Let's try this. I have to add one. I think the dog one. So filter this error from my Verilog system .1. I'm doing .1 because it's how I configured the container to, let me say, use as a lab for this video. So let's try this. So you can basically use grep and the piping to filter any system log for, you know any problem you get. There's no error here. Yeah, so I think that will be all for the grips and piping. Let's go on to is okay, let's talk about log rotation. Log rotation is basically reason why disks don't fill up, right? Without rotation, a busy Nginx server could write mega gigabytes of log every day and fill the disks within hours. So log rotates prevent this automatically, right? So in the day one, it's writing logs. In the day two, the first day is the logs are rewritten, or sorry, they are renamed. So followed by the log, the day three, the day four, the day five. So let's try and see what I'm talking about. Let's do cat slash etc slash log rotate dot config. So basically, this is basically global defaults. Basically, global defaults. See this see man log for details, rotate log weekly, keep 4 weeks worth of backlogs. Let's try another command. So this is the anatomy of a log rotate config. This for Nginx. Daily, missing, rotate 14, compress. I know. So this rotate this daily. This the rotates every day. This rotate 14. It keeps 14 days of history. It compress. It's like it zips up old logs to save face, to save like space. The delay compress. It doesn't compress the most recent logs. The missing grok. It doesn't show error if the log file doesn't exist, and so on. So that is why that is basically what we know about. Not it's not all we know about log rotate, but it's basically why log rotate is important for dicks and all. So that would be the let me see the end of this lesson. Um yeah, so you can just yeah.